these are the economic compulsions of our people in subcontinent, uh, which make them moving towards extremist thinking. And besides lack of quality education and low literacy ratio, that is also responsible for providing fertile grounds to extremism, extremist organizations here. Both India and Pakistan are victims of large-scale ignorance, and interesting data on all that is available on internet. What I have personally observed is that upper class of India and upper class of Pakistan, life is really different for them. Concerning Pak India relations, because whatsoever the relations between India and Pakistan are, whether sour or sweet, their relations are always good. Uh, Besides, interestingly, I have observed on this that in London, Indians and Pakistanis, they're economically quite well off, and they are living in peace together. They're in marital relations, and even they're crossing the borders of religion. Even. Hindu girls are marrying Muslim boys. All this is going on in the United States of America too, even in Dubai. So, uh, downtrodden, teeming millions, they are the victim of hate in subcontinent. Even vast majority of them in India sometimes reflect its hatred against Pakistan by voting for a political leader or a party who's deadly against Pakistan. So here across the border, we assess that uh, situation is not still ripe in India. Extremism still prevails in India because Pakistanis, they don't feel like this for Indians. Our election campaigns, they're issue-based campaigns. Though situation is not very ideal here, the issues are also playing important role here in campaigns, but mostly that tribes and clans, affiliations, and sectarian thinking, and these are the basis of increase in vote bank for politicians. election ever has been fought on against India in Pakistan. Ironically, India such things. And recently, a peace activist had disclosed from India that even majority of the people they have nothing to do with hate against Pakistan. Then I, I wonder how a political leader or a party which is voting hate against Pakistan in India wins the elections. If it is so, I think the situation will change there, and in fact, it is changing there. In Bihar elections, the hate-based philosophy of a Indian political leader was being defeated. His party had lost elections there. So situation is improving in India as well. So large-scale reforms are again, those reforms they need some basic commitments with quality education because reform brought by a person who's holding a degree, obviously what he can reform. And that is really some common here, even in Pakistan, so that in, political slots, in government jobs, the attraction for the corrupt has been so much increased that too many people are investing too much in this field, and they're forcefully capturing those political slots and even government jobs while buying fake degrees to qualify themselves. In Pakistan, few of them were members of the federal legislature who were holding fake degrees. Big degree is being allotted to every member of federal legislature, and membership of federal legislature in Pakistan is a big attraction for the corrupt. The attraction is there, the money is there. Same as with the government jobs. I had personally interviewed a person who's a big officer, was sitting aside me in a government office. My fellow officer. And, I asked him that being a monitoring officer, can I see degrees? And then he told me, no, he does not got any degree, but there is a private university and I can see his roll number in the gazette of that university. So private degrees, private universities are selling degrees, and even that guy was unable to buy a degree, but somehow he has managed to uh, put a roll number of his name in those candidates who appeared for the exam. So this is what is going on. It's really funny, and these are the realities. You see, the things which I have observed by myself. I do have solid evidence of all this. So, if we compare ourselves with Europe, the developed Europe, they have developed themselves after the Second World War so rapidly, and the UN Charter uh, was their basic source of guidance. They had provided civil, political, and economic rights to their citizens. If you want to learn more civil, economic, and political rights, and what true freedom is, you must visit London, United States of America, or any other European country to understand the true meanings of freedom, how the state provides security, economic security to the people, to its citizens. So these things are, you see, these things are abhorrent to the minds of not only of our citizens, but to our politicians too. That's why we are lagging behind. That's why subcontinent is lagging behind in terms of progress and prosperity and development. Our economic theories. I mean, if I say that even United States of America became economically become economically sound after following the philosophy of JFK. No, sorry, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt. But Franklin D. Roosevelt, he never came up with revolution. He had waited for 16 long years to implement his economic philosophy of welfare state. Judges were too old to understand him, and whenever he had initiated that welfare legislation in Congress, the Supreme Court used to block that, reject that. So when the judges went old and tired, some of them have vacated their posts because of that. Then he had inducted fresh blood in judiciary, educated ones. They were able to understand his welfare measures. So the Americans, they had got purchasing power in real sense of the word during Franklin D. Roosevelt's era, and the economics cycle started moving. So we in India and Pakistan, these activists, we have to. I mean, we are ahead of our times. Our thinking is in the right direction, but it's not very common. And obviously, as I have cited the example of United States of America and of FDR, that in United States of America, a person can become president of USA only twice for 2 terms. in brief for 8 years. But FDR was elected for 4 terms because the people were able to understand his philosophy. The judges were old enough of Supreme Court and their knowledge was of obsolete nature and they were unable to understand him and they were resisting his reform measures. So see the spirit of democracy in him, he and the people of USA. How democratic they are in their approach. They all had waited for 16 long years for the judges to retire. And then finally, his philosophy was implemented. FDR's philosophy was implemented. So to get rid of Chankya's philosophy, it is, I don't think that overnightly the whole subcontinent will be clean of this cruel thinking. Uh, uh, but with the quality of quality education and obviously through informal education too, print media, videos on internet, electronic media, our peace activist friends can initiate the beginning of era of enlightenment in subcontinent, so that expansionist Chankya's thinking and wrecking the moral base of Indian society, Chankya's thinking, that shall be replaced by the up-to-date knowledge of everything. That is utmost necessary for the survival of the people here in subcontinent. And I think that after getting rid of Chankya's philosophy, uh, Indian establishment can start era of progress and prosperity here, not only in the subcontinent but in the Middle East, Middle East as well, in the Middle East and Far East as well. India is being Indian culture is so overpowering, overwhelming in nature. All this region is attracted towards it, and there are good things about India. All those good aspects of India are being overshadowed by the Chankya's philosophy, which is expansionist in nature, and because of it, the small neighbors of India, their resistance is in nature. And even that concept of Akhand Bahar, which means Great India and which includes Middle East, India too, as part of India. That type of thinking is really dangerous in nuclear age, especially when India is having an immediate uh, nuclear neighbor as Pakistan, and, which is having battle-hard army and is having potential to thwart back all the bad designs against it. Uh, the most prudent way, which I think will uh, definitely lead us towards real peace in subcontinent, is resolution of all outstanding issues, including Kashmir. And after 1965 war, we had tried uh, Tashkent. We have tried to negotiate agreement between India and Pakistan on a multilateral form with arbitration of Soviet Union. I think that we shall try this if we are unable to do it on bilateral basis. We shall try it through good offices of President Donald Trump. And I think uh, President Donald Trump is not funded by any lobbies, so that weapon industry lobbyists, they cannot exert any influence upon him. He by himself is a very just and fair person. So I think that through his mediation, if possible, he will take charge of his office on 21st of January. And I think that through his mediation in Pakistan, they can reach settlement, Kashmir issue and all other outstanding issues as well. I wish all the best to all my peace activist friends, both in India and Pakistan, and I assure them that love is already only extremist element is preventing the both states to move forward in path of peace. And, I think that the spread of education through formal and informal means will create awareness among public on both sides of the borders. I'm doing my job in this respect as well as a journalist, and I hope that peace will prevail soon here